Alright, mic is working. No camera today. Howdy folks, Cody here, IronVerse Comics. Enjoy my PNG. Here, we'll do this again. There you go. Make it feel more official. Hope you folks are doing well. This one's going to be a little bit rambly, a little bit... hopefully not whiny. But I wanted to... wanted to express some things. So that's all. Let me see if I can... I'm getting a little ahead of somebody who's planning to talk about these things later, it sounds like. But I wanted to go over this and share some of my thoughts. So that's what we're here for. No camera today because I am just not in that kind of mode. You're going to have to believe me when I do have coffee, and it is okay. I'm also doing the stream no-no of eating a little bit of breakfast while we're doing this. So, is the mic still? Yeah, mic's still live. Alright, here we go. Cool. Must have already been on. Did I wake up this dude? Nope, did not wake up the band yet. Okay, the band is awake now. Alright, but this was a very valuable question to ask. It sure is cheap coffee. Alright, is the bar for indie comics set too high? There's so many angles to approach that from. You could say, you know, what, for competition, is it set too high? Well, there are many bars. Who are you competing against? If you mean for everybody, yeah, there are some folks that you will not be able to financially compete with, or skill-wise compete with, right? It's just how it goes. There you go. Sound a little bit more chill, please. It's just how it goes, right? Like, there will always be gaps in either practice or ability that, you know, you cannot make up. That you cannot make up. I guess that's the best way. That you cannot catch up to. You can catch up to a level before, but then hopefully, if they're doing their job, then they'll be a moving target, right? So, I mean, that's one way. There's setting the bar for what? For success is another one. It is a difficult needle to thread. Speaking from experience, there are a lot of pitfalls and mistakes to be easily made along the way that have very little to do with the actual artistic work of the thing. I've made many of those. Still here, still finishing a work, but most certainly humbled by the journey. There's all of these different standards to look at when you ask for what the bar is, right? I think the bar should be being, you know, creating the best comic ever, right? And that is I think that is the top bar. That is the highest bar that you could reach for. That is, you know, the one that folks should be shooting for. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you still hit the stars, right? That kind of deal. That's the ideal. I would assume that a lot of people are going there for, because if you are able to do that, then success should follow. Correct? I doubt it, because that's another weird thing about art in particular. But that's the idealistic bar, right? That's the top end of it. For me, at least, when I'm thinking of this question. The other standards, right, is the bar that everyone should for sure also shoot for. The low end bar, I'll say, is quite simple. It's just doing better than you did before, right? If you've done nothing, that is very easy to accomplish. If you've done quite a lot, then yeah, you got to work to continuously improve. That's what we've been doing here, and that's been the bar that we've tried to hit every time. And there's a lot of facets to being better than you were before, right? In my case, I've tried to write more interesting work. I'm hoping issue 4 hits well. It's a story that means something to me, but it was also one where I kind of tried to let go of some of my habits that I had formed in the first 3 issues. And I think we did that well. I also tried to homage some really cool stuff. I think I love that issue, but I won't know if we've done better till it's out there. And on other angles, production and awareness, marketing in particular, I've kind of just dropped the ball. I've been very tired of that game. Marketing is tiring, and there are some easy ways to get eyes that don't interest me artistically. And I say easy. Any of those ways could be done poorly, and it's not easy, right? Like, whatever. But if it doesn't interest me artistically, if it's not part of the expression I wish to convey to the world, then it's not something I'm going to force myself to do, even if it's for the betterment of the project, which is rough. I've dipped my toes in angles like that. But yeah, there's a lot of different... Come on, find me a good track. Something a little breezy. It's a fun track, but no. Too short, even if it was gonna last. Ah, here we go. Custom track from Laguna Muta. That'll work fine. Let me see. Let me make sure it's not too loud, because I am speaking softly today. There you go. Okay, rebalanced a little bit. So I don't know. I just wanted to hit that in a few ways. Art is kind of it's a bar you set for yourself, and then you look and reflect that bar against society, honestly, and then you find where you landed, right? I don't think indie comics are a high bar. There are some relatively successful, previously extremely successful works that have been going on for a while, that I would say are set a very low bar, artistically, in terms of expression, in terms of just being a meaningful piece of work, that are going to continue to come out because of nepotism, because of earned placement of a creator, right? We have more opportunity to get work out than ever before, right? I mean, it's been about a decade of this, but for me, half a decade I've been working at this on this level. It's a lot, you know? Basically, so what did I call this stream? I called it W. Got it. No, I called it waste of time or a healthy outlet. That makes sense to me. Part of why I did that is because that's the bar. That's the bar completely, right? I have seen many creators burn right the fuck out. I've seen some creators make some very poor choices. I've seen some, instead of humbling themselves upon their mistakes, they double down on arrogance. Sometimes that works. That's always blown my mind. The only bar that matters is the one you set for yourself. That's should be kind of obvious. And there are many bars that you could set. But again, the most important one and the bare minimum is being better than you were before. That's in so many aspects of life, and art is one that you can directly see the correlations to effort and practice and decisions, and have that reflected against your past, and kind of obviously see where things have changed, and hopefully for the better. I mean, well, we're told from childhood, at least, hopefully, not to judge yourself against others constantly, right? It's not healthy. Simply because you are not them, they are not you. So, I mean, that also applies to the work itself. My work's had a very unique journey, and I could, and hopefully will be able to go back here soon and point out the massive pitfalls and poor decisions I have made, alongside some of the great decisions I made, which mostly involve who I've worked with, which has been very cool. Twice I've made some very poor decisions on that, and though the experience was worth it in both cases, though one of them was really a knock around, then the other's just kind of depressing. The end result of it is that I've learned more. I'm very hopeful after this release, issue 4, after some time has moved, and after I've gone through some kind of hard moments that I've kind of been waiting for the time for, that there is more opportunity over that horizon. But it's a while off. And I don't know. I love indie comics. I love making comics. It's the form of expression which resonates with me the greatest, and the one that which I could have any chance of mastering. Quote unquote mastering, right? Like getting a hold of it to a point that I'm satisfied with my own ability to it. That's my definition of mastering. But you may also not be able to do that. Howdy, Fly Fox. Hola, hola. Howdy, howdy. Welcome, welcome. This is just a ramble.
Said, hola.
It actually didn't pronounce it as an H. That's crazy. I thought it would have. Crazy. But yeah, it's just a ramble. You haven't missed much. Just kind of addressing this main bit here. But thanks for stopping by and saying howdy. But yeah, just to surmise kind of the points I already hit in the last 15, about 10, I guess, is the only bar that matters is the one you set for yourself, obviously. And the first most basic minimum bar you set for yourself is, and this is in most everything, is to be better than you were before. Anything beyond that is great, especially if it leads you to consistent improvement. But some will not. Sometimes it will grind you down. So you got to be careful on what bars you're setting, and what bars you allow yourself to really invest in. And you got to enjoy your own journey. I certainly have. In fact, it has saved me multiple times, my connections through this work and the wonderful people that I have met along the way. And the work itself, its impetus, its starting point, was something and is something that really matters to me. And the energy and what I call the magic that carries through that has done me wonders. It's also not taking me to where I would want to go. It's taking me to where it was always going to take me, right? With the choices I've made along the way. And so the bar there is a little bit different. I could compare to so many different things. Oh wow! I'll let Robo Lady say your comment. Very kind.
Said, I hear your comics are among the best out there. I had someone I trust tell me you had the best written comics out there in indie comics.
I very much appreciate that, good sir. At least I assume, sir. It's I hope so. I hope so. I don't write like all the time. I don't like have some folks. My co-editor, co-founder, IronVerse Comics. He is one who needs to write. He was born to write. It pours out of him. For me, it's just I have fascinations. I have things that I need expressed outside of the internal conversation that I'm kind of stuck with all the time. And it just so happens that Jack was a beautiful vehicle for some of the harder discussions
Fly Fox
to
Pro
occur.
said, "Now I need to get a hold of them so I can find out if this person is still trustworthy, lol."
Now, I know most, and this is one of the other things that I kind of didn't talk about, but getting your comic to print was a big deal because a lot of folks only will reprint. But if you're not just a print individual, I will. You can either go to ironversecomics.com, which is the links in chat there, and it'll also link you here, where you can read any of these, purchase them for not much, if you're a digital reader. Otherwise, no worries. Oh, you know what? I do have a place I can point you also if you want to get a hold of. I think 1, 1, and 2. So you can just read 1 and 2 here. 3 if you want to go through Global Comics that way. Or you can go to our website here. You go to Wicked Comics. And eventually when it loads, if it loads, no, it'll load. You can purchase the physicals of 1 and 2 from them as well. And hopefully you enjoy them. But if you do want a preview to see if, I don't really want to spend $5 on a comic, and I don't blame you. This is a good place to start. See if it's your cup of tea. I'm very proud of our work. It's very meaningful to myself, and it's a crazy journey. Oh, thank you. Okay. So that was one of the things.
Fox Pro said, "I love how many animations you have for your stuff."
That's the thing. I do a lot of quiet building of the branding that a lot of people don't do. Yeah, we're PNG tuber today. I am a mess, and I didn't feel like cleaning up for this one. But we do that, so it shows we have some pride because it's fun and all that. But it's also marketable. Movement catches the eye a lot better.
Said, "Howdy."
Then movement, of course, catches the eye a lot better than still, even if the still images are gorgeous. So we've worked on that. It just was a natural angle, and the fact that we found such an awesome animator in the wonderful Mrs. H was just wonderful. Again, this work has fallen together in just some of the most beautiful ways, and there's some hard beauty to it as well in one particular business relationship that I don't think our work would have had footing without, but has not. It has been there's so many ways that are insulting to it to use it, and I don't really want to use those words because it's not the full truth. There's been a struggle. It had made things hard. At the same time, it made things possible, I guess is the best way to put it, and there's a very sad beauty to that. And the next movements of this work we'll see how that sad beauty concludes. And hopefully it concludes in a positive way for everybody involved. But, we will see. We will see. There's time for that. But, so it's again, I appreciate your interest in our work very, very, very much. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you check out the digital first. I don't like, from the beginning, I don't like just trying to sell people, hey, look at this very cool piece of art. Bothers me. There's a lot of marketing things that bother me because it's a very thin line between the positive performance version of illusion magic, right, or negative trickery. It's right next to each other, and I've seen people do both, right. But yeah, on the animation front, it was just a natural move forward once we had somebody whose abilities and love for what we do aligned with what we do. The fact that we were able to get these issues out. It's incredible to me. I've worked with so many cool talents from all over the indie sphere who very much would not like working with each other. That's been one of the other very cool blessings I've been able to take part in. I love this journey, and I'm so stoked how it's gone. But there are further steps that will be difficult that need to occur for growth, and that's part of, again, the whole point of this stream was this right here, right? And I'll just harp back. The bare minimum bar that you should set is to be better than you were before. That's the bar for indie comics, in my opinion, period. That's a personal goal that anybody should have when working in artistry, period. And I think that is the easiest and most healthy bar to set. If you're comparing yourself against others, eventually their journeys and yours, you're comparing yourself against a impossible illusion. Your brain is going to fill in so many gaps that you can't possibly have the information for, that bar will be ethereal. You'll never be able to grab onto it, right? It doesn't exist. It's just something you see. It's a mirage, right? So basically anything beyond that is kind of like, as long as it's simply, you don't take it too seriously, as long as it's simply inspirational, it's a carrot on a stick, but you don't actually think you'll ever reach that carrot, and you kind of know that, then yeah, any bar you set is fine.
Dollar coins.
But beyond that, it's a bad idea.
I'm HRRE Cody, and I brought the buckshot.
We do need that buckshot. We do need the buckshot. Well, welcome, brother. So anyway, I don't know, folks. I just kind of wanted to hit some of these notes on here, some of my thoughts on this. There's other angles about it where, like, what bar are you trying to set? If it's success, then you're going to end up comparing yourself to so many, again, mirages, illusionary visions and perspectives on other people's work, because that's the only option.
Said.
And it's not good.
Wait, why do we need buckshot?
Oh, you didn't tell him, did you? Dollar coins. Didn't tell him. We always need buckshot. No, we're smashing the illusionary paradigms of bars. No, I don't know. Too tired. Only halfway through this coffee. That's why I'm not on camera today. It's a rough one. Be honest, I drank too much last night, just trying to get out of the headspace, and that shit ain't working for me. And it hasn't for a while, but I try again and again. And it's dumb. So it is what it is. I'll give it a second for the lady to say that, because I want to hear how she says necrotic.
K said. Necrotic buckshot.
She really leans into the E. Necrotic. Interesting. But yes, necrotic buckshot. Sure, why not? Ooh, we finally found a track I want to hear. God, it's been all day. But yeah, I mean, I hit most of the points in the first 10 minutes. And then, as usual with these kind of streams that I do, I kind of just keep circling back to the main points, which may be frustrating for some. I don't know. But that's the big one, is, you know, again, there's this, right? Customers decide what they want to support. If you aren't doing art because you wish to scream into the void, first and foremost, you're gonna have a bad time. Especially in comics. If you're out in comics to make money, I've discussed this many, many times, right? You have to make money to be successful in this industry. Otherwise, you have to already be independently wealthy, and then it's just like you want to yell into the void. And then that's beautiful. That's a great way to express yourself. Wish you all the best. And I would say it's a better use of money than many other uses of money these days. Is it the best? Probably not, but it's better than some. But if you're like most folks, like especially in crowdfunding, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time.
Dollar coins. Said. I live in Cody's prowler trailer. He keeps far away from the house. He sometimes pays me a visit down by the river.
It's because I feel sorry for you in that prowler. Surprisingly, Well, if you ever see that sucker, you'll see what I mean. It's not irredeemable, but it is a project. It is certainly a project, but it is kind of a neat thing if it were to be fixed up. Um, but I hit all the things, and I get how artists get to this point, right? I was talking about last night because I was reading it. Attack on Titans, at least the first 4 volumes that I've read so far, are incredibly amateur on the art. There are some panels that are just like, wow, I'd see this on a low end, like 15-year-old's webtoon kind of art. But you can tell that they knew exactly when the art needed to hit, and so they spend more time and more focus, and sometimes, especially like in the Titans designs, the wonkiness works for it. So very, very neat. It's the most that vibe I've ever felt reading in manga in particular, but comics in general. Sorry, lady. It's a good song, but I just need less. There we go. Let's go some Mushishi there. It's a trip, right? And so what's your standard? I've seen many independent comics that make only 2 or 3K during crowdfunding that are beautiful when compared to Attack on Titans, right? Like art-wise. It's all about, again, perspective, and any perspective that you're looking outward tends to come with a bit of illusion. And so any bar that you're setting outwards, that you're judging by outside factors, is going to come with a bit of illusion, if not entire illusion. It's going to be a mirage. That's just a big thing I want to talk about, because it layers into a lot of things I'm struggling with the work right now, right? This issue in particular was our most successful in terms of finances. In terms of backers, it is one of the least successful backer numbers, right? So we've kept fans, but we got them more invested in the work in terms of finances. They were willing to put more into it to keep it going, but we had less people return. And I think that has a lot to do with our production times, which are atrocious. I cannot understate how bad our production times can be. I've tried to solve that for 2 campaigns now, and neither has it worked. Now, both campaigns had gigantic, life-changing things occur during their production, but that is only a factor, right? It's not, again, it's not an entire picture of it. There are some things that could have been done still to mitigate some of that. And some of that's who I choose to work with. Some of that is how I choose to work with those people. So, But the only bar, again, circle it back, the only bar that should matter is, am I doing better than I did the day before? Like this, period. That's the only one you can ever count on for art in particular. But I wanted to hit this. I think it's a struggle. Like, you look at your work, and then you look on the outside. Maybe you see work with what you would judge, and this is judgmental. You would judge lesser, quote unquote, either in art or in writing or whatever. You would judge it lesser, like less deserving, right? Which is, you shouldn't be judging to begin with on that level, but it's natural to do that. We are survival-based creatures, and judgment is one of those tools that we have utilized forever to survive. So it comes into all factors of our life, right? And you judge which apple to pick up at the grocery store looks better, right? It's just how it goes. And you see their success, or you see
David
how they interact.
Said, "Howdy, how is everyone doing?"
Howdy.
Fox Pro
Doing all right.
said,
Thank you.
"My favorite crowdfund comics are not the most popular. Titan Mouse of My T-Bird and Throttle and Kyrie are some of them."
Kyrie is excellent. I love Matt Krotz. He's been a cool cat forever. Titan Mouse of Might, I believe, was... Oh, it's not Art T. Bears. I know Josh Howard also is a pretty cool cat. I have not read any of these books, to be fair, but I have seen how they conduct themselves. They're peers who I appreciate in the space. And you're right? Like, that's some of the beauty of indie comics, is that what I call the great cacophony, right? Is everybody screaming in the void at once. It's very hard to be heard. Um, if you're sitting there and you're listening as a customer or as a comic fan, you will find notes, you will find yells that appeal to you, and they might not be the most popular. So it's almost a more intimate relationship with that work and that creator, which is very cool. It's a great part of being the underdog, right? And I think that's why IronVerse Comics has survived. Is there's a lot of people who like what we do, but it's never hit the ground running to a massive level. It's done really well. Again, like it's hard to understate how well we've done comparatively to many other projects. But at the same time, our standards are, our bar that we set for ourselves, that better than yesterday bar, is higher than it is for some. And again, that's judgmental. I don't know. But I think it is. And that has put us in positions of having to continuously rise to a very difficult situation again and again. Usually financially, right? Like getting the crowdfund done these last 2 times. Literally funded last day usually. These last 2 campaigns, and it was like thousands of dollars away. And it's been, I have not expected either of the last 2 campaigns to succeed. I will 100% be blunt about that. I did not expect either of them. I saw how the campaign went. I saw the lull.
Scott K.
And there it goes.
Said, hey David.
But yeah, Mr. Schmeling, welcome. We are, yeah. So it's a hell of a journey, and I know everybody hits this point where they are judging their work against others, and I think it is a trap. It is a mistake. It is a waste of time. And what I call this stream, right, is like a healthy outlet or waste of time. And if you're focusing on outside bars, it will be a waste of time. If you're focusing on interior bars, it will be a healthy outlet, whether it's super successful or not. And I think those 2 things are far more important than massive success. For me, if Jack Irons or anything in IronVerse Comics were to become a great success, it would do me a great good. Financially, I don't know, especially if it's anything in IronVerse Comics. I don't think I'll deserve anything from our other wonderful creators. But at the same time, like, just seeing that happen would be incredible. I think Jack and all of IronVerse Comics has something to say to the world, and to yell to the world that isn't
Fly Fox Pro
said very often.
I'm just happy to be drawing comics. I have a job. This is fun. If it makes money, I'll be really glad, but I'm trying to what I like doing.
Exactly, trying to do what you like doing. Exactly. I'm totally with you, and that's, for me, that's the bar. That's what matters, because there's so little time on this blue marble. Just so little time. And where you spend it is very important. And again, that's why it's a healthy outlet or a waste of time. I don't think it's a waste of time, because hopefully people learn from it, even if they're doing things in a way that's not the most healthy.
Said, the best way I look at what I'm doing now is not to make something better than Jack Irons, but to make something that complements it. Dollar coins. Said, did you use the soap?
just the comments, how that flowed together was great. I love you guys. I appreciate that. I hope you try and make something better than Jack. I mean, again, just try to do something better than what you did before is all I really want from anybody working with us. But at the same time,
Scott
like, shoot for the moon.
Said,
and no, I haven't used the soap
always
yet, Dollar.
use the soap.
Did not use the soap yet. It's actually on my table in front of me. I didn't even get it to the bathroom yet. It's Yardley London soap. It is oatmeal and almond. Nice. Let me see what time it is. Oh, I got time. I don't want to keep circling around the same shit. But
David Schmeling.
We're getting there.
Said,
let me see.
hi Scott, very relatable topic. It's easy to be pulled into that void of self-criticism.
So, I'm looking. one of my favorite parts of this, and yes, spoilers, whatever, very few people watch this, and you can't even really read it from here, but this right here, what I'm looking at, was a goofy idea a year ago. It was a pure expression of what I feel was arrogance. I combined a lot of thematics of Dante's Inferno, a very classic, long-lasting story of knowledge of life and death and the processes in there.
Scott K.
And I married it to an Eastern
and
tale.
Always doing my best work.
Exactly, Scott. That's the point. But this was the stupid idea, and I wanted to reframe what I had done with Jack Irons before. Because the first 3 issues are me feeling my way through comics, and this one's like, well, I know, I was told through many different reviews and outlets, and I felt it that like they want something a little bit closer to a regular comic, and how was I to do that? And I took my favorite influences, and I took some big, heavy influences. I'm like, well, these are lasting tales. You can't go wrong with them. They've lasted for thousands of years, almost. Okay, one's like, what, 400 and change years, and then the other is about 1,000 years. It's very old. And I wanted to mishmash them together in my own arrogant way, and then throw some Jack Irons swagger on top of it, and see how that worked in a more classical action structure compared to my more narrative, meandering, philosophical structure of the first 3 issues. While still keeping the philosophical structure. That's kind of the point. To see if I could do it that way. If I could do it... I'm not going to say it's not a subtle issue in terms of the thematics I discuss and how I discuss them. But it is a far less jarring discussion of them. I think it's smoother. I think it's more... storytelling's more what people expect from comic books. Which was something I wanted to try. It wasn't something that was like, well, I should stop writing this. No, it was something I wanted to try. I wanted to see if I could do that. I think I succeeded here. Dollar Coins, myself, and Mr. Rush, a wonderful letterer, are about the only folks who have really read this so far. It still has edits. I'm still waiting on lettering edits. It's a little frustrating. I was hoping to have the digital, like, in the hands of our pre-press guy right now, but it is what it is. But the bar I set was higher. I wanted to, like, well, okay, this is what people more expect. Can I still pull off what I want to do artistically in my heart? The messages, the point, the discussions that make Jack Irons, and have help me carry through for these last half decade and more. And do it in a way that could resonate with even more people without compromising on artistic integrity. Because there are points where I've been like, well, if I did this, and I've been told how to make this thing more profitable, and there's a good chance that those ideas would work. But it's not an artistic expression which I resonate with, and therefore it would, to me, be a waste of time, even if it profited more. Because it would twist and warp the intention that I begun all of this with when I was a teenager. Point is, folks, again, just keep harping to it. The only bar that fucking matters is going beyond yourself. That's all that matters. But if that's not a good enough one for you, if that's not going to be enough of a carrot for you to level up as a creator, then yes, go ahead, judge yourself against others, but don't take it seriously, because whatever judgment, whatever perspective you're seeing this other work as will be a mirage, will be an illusion, will be a lie. It's not an actor. You don't see the full picture. You're not them. You're not running their project. You will get vibes from certain creators, from certain projects that you don't like, or that you really do like. And that can also be a great set of inspiration. Well, I don't want to be like that. Or, oh, wow, I kind of really like what they're doing. Like, that's another great bar, but it shouldn't be, again, what you judge yourself as. And if it's for success, then yeah, are indie comics expensive? Yes. Not only through crowdfunding, where you're charging upwards of 5 times, sometimes more, for a book than what regular comic fans expect to pay, and they're already expected to pay too much from the mainstream. Um, at the same time, is it creative fulfilling? Does it mean something to you? Does it matter to you? Then you're doing something cool. Does it help some, if you're a writer and you work with collaborators, does it help them? Does it allow them to express their art and make a living? That's a great gift. That is an incredible one. Yes, I use that to soothe myself quite a lot, because I do not and have not made anything off of the first off of these issues, really. Not to be fair, I've made a little bit here and there. I definitely am in the red, like I haven't caught up, but there has been some help, and again, through connections, through resonances in my times of need. I've had wonderful connections who were able to pull me out of some nasty gutters because of this work. And so, am I judging it as profitable, or am I judging it as helpful and good for the soul? Well, it's definitely the latter two. And that's the environment I wish to foster, but is that like a successful environment? You judge it against other folks, right? It's kind of, but which other folks, and how many other folks, and like what amounts are you dealing with, and what quality of storytelling and art are you doing? I mean, there's too many factors to matter, right? Like, again, so again, the only bar that makes any sense is improving upon oneself. That's the only bar that matters whatsoever. But if you are sacrificing yourself to do this work, particularly writer artists, and like you're throwing your heart and soul into it and you never get any returns from it, that's a little rougher. So it's a different game for those folks who are doing everything. And there's so many pitfalls. Again, I hope later on, particularly after issue number 4 has been delivered and some hard discussions have been had between myself and other parties, that I'll be able to discuss those with a bit more honesty and share those experiences, because I think they will help others. And they're not negative experiences, but they were not also ideal to the growth of the work, and then I had to balance that, right? At the same time, and I mentioned it earlier, it was also key to it even having a footing in the space. So it's complicated, and you're dealing with people, and you're dealing with art, where it is heart and art, only 2 letters different. And usually when you're dealing with art, you're dealing with somebody's heart. You're dealing with their expression, their something that means something to them. And I've had many discussions with creators where they kind of, well, I just create for fun. And they lean into that so heavily that it feels just extremely dishonest to me. And I've had problems with those kind of creators.
Said. NCRN proud.
Get that sweet 2-headed bear banner. You know what? I should get the Fallout New Vegas soundtrack on here. Bethesda doesn't claim anything. There's some good tracks. Oh, now Bethesda doesn't claim anything. I couldn't do like the radio stuff, but like ambient soundtrack for Fallout New Vegas, I don't know if there's any good tracks, but I should get that on here anyway. It's super on brand. Let me see. Is there anything else I'm missing here? No. Good. Let me see if there's anything else that's important. Let's see what these people talk about. So we'll go through here, chat on this, and then maybe when we hit the hour mark, I'll call it. But not sure what you mean. Everyone who wants to make comics can do so. Customers decide what they want to support. Absolutely, that's what the market is good for. The bar is high to succeed. Yes, it's difficult, but persistence, quality, accessibility. You hope.
Careful that Microsoft S now.
Yeah, no, it's still fine. Bethesda doesn't. Like, I have I doubt I'll find it right away. But you can run the entire Doom, Mike Gordon's Doom soundtrack from either game. Totally doesn't get claimed. And that's like legendary money-making music. Microsoft's actually relatively chill about that stuff. Basically, video game soundtracks in general, not all of them, tend not to be acclaimed because they want streamers to stream the game as free advertisement, right? It's that simple. Some Persona tracks get claimed, but not all of them. In fact, a lot of them do not. So you just got to be careful. Like, that's a lot. Let me see. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm skipping on the wrong one. That's why. I got some Guilty Gear on here. His Persona. Ooh, I don't even know what this is. Ooh. I don't know what that is. This is Guilty Gear. Ah, groovy. Everything's too heavy. It's too heavy, sadly. But that's, I wanted to, maybe the RNG gods would have blessed us with a Mick Gordon track. But, didn't happen. So I guess what's your definition of succeeding? So even he went to success. And that is not my bar. It should be. It's a great bar to have, but success ain't it. I guess you could define success for me as being better than the day before, right? It's whatever. This was a great one, though, because it kind of discusses some of the pitfalls. This is the one that got me to kind of want to come in and talk about it, because he talks about it. It's tough. In fact, I'll link this chat or this thread into chat here. And you folks can check it out yourselves if you're
Dollar
curious.
Coins said, "NITS gone."
It's gone. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe there was something. And right here is Far Cry 5, right? It's I don't know. Most of these topics go in circles because I come to a point where it's like I can define it and that's my answer, and everything else is just kind of dancing around something I've already stated multiple times. It's a lot of how I think. It's because I try to find angles that erode at that answer, and I tend not to at a certain point, right? Like I tend to be like, well,
Scott
no, that still applies.
Buckshot.
Exactly, buckshot. That's what we need to talk about. But yeah, folks, I just wanted to discuss that. Like, it's not a biggie. It's nothing unique or incredible. But it's just, I think, and he's again. It's just kind of, I think it's super important to define your bar properly, or you will discourage yourself again and again. Let me show you what my discouragement looks like. Because I'm sure you folks, a couple of you, seen it and are very aware of it. But let's get it and talk about it publicly.
Dollar Coins
That's why I bookmarked this shit.
said, "IronVerse Comics working hard at 2 a.m. in the 808s."
We had a good chunk of a stream figuring out, well, teaching me what the 808s were, which is, you can compare them, and this is what I'll remember it as revolutionary to hip-hop and beat making as the Fender guitar was to rock and roll. That's what it said in the Wikipedia, and it's like, oh, that's what it was. But it's a set of I guess, synthesizer sounds, very iconic. Just for anybody not aware of what the 808s are. Bum, 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 bum. Let me go. A bunch of excellent themes. That's not where we're going. That's sorry, it's still going on. And here's my other bar. It comes up quite often. This is my other bar.
Dollar coins.
But let me keep going. So I'm going through my bookmarks, and a lot of these are like super neat. That's why I bookmarked them. We're going to a specific one though. We're going to my this is not a fun thing to share one, but I'll show you what my breakdowns look like. Not that that hasn't been seen on this channel plenty. You know, this is the 668th video on this channel. 668 videos, 300 subscribers, twice as many subs, or twice as many videos as subs, which I can chuckle at because it's kind of funny to me that like actually putting in the persistent work, it ain't good enough. Just FYI. Here we go. Here we go. We've talked about this too. There's a whole stream about it. I'm not sure what it's called or whatever. Again, I make too many videos on this channel. But this is me. This is when I break. And it's not because I set a bar wrong. It's because the situation has become untenable. And I have been aware of that situation, and I have been cobbling together things for a very long time. And it's reached a point where if I continue to cobble things together, it will simply degrade instead of build. That's what I came to. So, you know, this is me kind of venting it. Again, I am extremely grateful for the support and friendships I found in my comics journey. That's why I start there. It has been life-altering and, in some cases, almost life-saving. And I cannot understate that. It's the reason it's kind of the first point I hit. But, yes, it is rough. It is rough, and I carry forward with faith, either because I hope, you know, in time, the worst quality will find where it needs to be. But there are ways to do that. We are just getting out issue 4. This is me saying I'm done with Jack Irons for a while, and it's partially to do with a contractual obligation, and it's partially to do with I am so tired. For those who don't know, my primary gig, and it's been for a while, is I work with dogs. That's what I've done for about as long as I've done comics. And now that's taken the form of working at an animal shelter, and that has really taken a lot of perspective altering to be able to maintain in any sort of manner. I was going to say healthy manner, but manner period, because a lot of times it ain't that healthy. And so I am tired. The losses I faced the last couple of years as well. I'm tired. I really have been blessed that when things have gotten to a point that it could go very, very wrong, somebody sends me an angel, right, in one form or another. I've been very, very lucky with that my entire life. I cannot ever express the gratitude that my journey has had that be a core component. Sure, the downs are really rough, but the fact that they have never crushed me because there has always been some sort of magic there to help me out is incredible. But part of that also is like I've tried very hard not to take things to a point where it is unsalvageable. And so that there is room for those angels to show up and make a difference. I've never taken to a point where it's like, well, we couldn't even do anything, right? And we're getting to that point with this work on me. And so that's the bit. I mean, I mainly talk about the financial end because that is the roughest end. I've never been someone who I don't hate money. I think it has been extremely useful for the peaceful coexistence of mankind for a long time. It has also led to some very awful non-peaceful coexistence and lack of coexistence. But at the same time, it has fostered day-to-day peaceful growth in a lot of cases. in general from my perspective. Now, is that true? I don't know. It's a very massive perspective to you, but again, it's one of those mirages or illusions. You can't come to grips with its entirety. Um, but at the same time, like I think we've kind of sold our soul to it as the only viable path, and I think that is also a mirage. It's a lie. And how it is currently handled is from the top level down is terrible. So I can't like get 100% behind it, and that's always going to be in the back of my mind when I create. It's like I'm doing the art for the art. It's great. It can help support people through this mechanism that can do good, but often is simply stagnant energy. It is mostly hoarded and unused and filthy. um, but when it's moving, it can do very good things. It can do very bad things, but it can do very good things too. And so it's hard for me to lean into that angle and like from my heart and creative end to pursue that level, and even just from a work end, right, it's hard for me to do that. If I have enough to survive, then that is more than enough. That's been my whole way. And again, I think that leaves that space for those angels to come save my ass a couple times. Uh, but with this work, it's gotten to a point, if I run the campaign again, I'm likely to make similar mistakes I've made on the last two that financially I can no longer carry. Um, or the other option is asking for far more than is needed just to make sure that I have what is needed, even though it would be far more. And it tends to be I need a good chunk more than what I get. Even though we've been extremely successful in terms of finances on our Jack Irons campaigns, to a point where a lot of indie comics cannot reach that. Even people who put out consistent work, which is crazy and super humbling. Again, I'm glad to see people like that, especially when people are finding the ways to the passive awareness of their work, which I have struggled with up until Global Comics. Global Comics has allowed quite a bit of passive awareness of the work. It's not the opportune level of passive awareness. It's not the level that I had wished to have since the beginning, but it is a level of it. It's a semblance of it, and it makes a difference. But it's the big one. You know, I need a breather to, one, restructure my obligations to other parties, if not sever those obligations. Um, at the same time, that's why I stepped away from social media manager as well on that role. It's like I could not do enough for those folks to make a difference, and I was getting paid more than I could do, and it just felt wrong. It's very helpful. I needed the money. I still would need the money, honestly. It would be great to have it, but I don't like taking advantage of people. That's the big one with my campaigns too. That's why I don't raise it so high. Is because it's like, well, at what point am I actually like just taking advantage of people? It's the same thing with all the quote unquote angel bits, the asking for help that I've had to do multiple times now in the last few years. The e-begging. Um, it's rough. But that's the bit. Like, I think we've done a lot of good. We've been a foothold for other talents and new upcoming talents to find a comfortable space to express their work, and then in many cases get further awareness for their work and find other paths to more success, if not greater success. But yeah, sum it up. That's the bit. I think I've been doing things wrong for a while, and I still need to find out how to do them right. At the same time, we were able still to complete these works. And once issue 4 is out, we'll have a different perspective. I hope people enjoy it. And I hope it resonates with folks as much as it has with me. It's a heck of a journey, and it's the issue I wanted to make, which who knows if I could do that anywhere else. Or any way else, right? But anywho, that's the bit. Thought it would go back to that, but it did not. It's just there it goes. Okay, there we were. hit all the points. It's been a little over an hour. I gotta go here in 50 minutes, so I should kind of try and clean up so I can do this other job. But I think I hit all the points. It's just, what bar are we talking about is the big one here, and what bars matter and what don't. And I think anyone in which you are comparing yourself against someone else you're not inspired to do better is a waste. Um, that kind of sums up this whole thing. That's my 2 cents on this discussion. But I have been here. Um, it's kind of the end of it. I have been to this point, this sort of thought process, and I have seen different ways to make the money, to make comics that often have very little to do with the comics themselves, and that has always perplexed me, but it makes sense. Again, how you make your energy to complete the books, there are many ways to do it. And I certainly have a favoritism towards some over others, and that has led me down the path I've walked now. However you want to see that, as a great success, or as a set of speed bumps, or as a very unique journey, which is probably the most accurate out of those I said. That's why I do this, again, 667 videos, 668, I think, now on this channel. Only 2 of them don't have part of my journey here, right? There's a lot of gameplay videos, right, which it's a performance in some ways. It's me relaxing in others. It's sharing time with you folks. And that's a good chunk of the videos on the channel. But most, I would say probably at least 3/4 are this journey. And though it hasn't been in any way a extreme carry forward legendary success, it has been something extremely unique and something I am so grateful for, and has been life changing for me, even if it's in, well, to me, very big ways. But for others, even if it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like, particularly through Twitter, I have become very aware of a large portion of what, again, I'll call the great cacophony of indie comics, from all sides, all different kinds of creators, all different skill levels, all different kinds of expressions. And it's a blessing and a curse that it doesn't fit in a way that facilitates financial success, I guess is the best way to put it. It's frustrating. You work at something half a decade and more if you count when I started this, and it hits great goals, but it's still not enough for the work. It over time, that is, it's not disheartening so much as it's just tiring, because you have to make up that extra energy somehow, and I've not been in a position to do that for the last 3 years. This one was a big one too. On Monday, it was 8 years since my mom passed on Monday. Crazy to me that it's been that long. I don't know. Some point I might go back to older videos and see if I've gotten a little bit more peculiar, since I've been spending far more time alone than I ever had in my life. There's all these weird angles with this journey that have led me to a point where it needs a sort of reset. I'm excited for it. I'm only scared that, like, it could go negatively on some fronts in terms of interpersonal relationships. otherwise, I'm extremely excited for this reset. I think the potential that is there and has been there for a very long time, but has been buried under obligation, it excites the hell out of me. And there's so many angles to approach it once it's dug up, right? But we'll see. I don't know, folks. This question was important, and I think it's one that a ton of creators will face, and I just kind of wanted to hit on it a little bit, my thoughts, my vibes, and everything on it. If there's any questions, go ahead, shoot them now. Otherwise, I will start winding down. I don't think there's anything major else except for hitting the same circle of thought that I've hit this whole time. In terms of updates, again, just waiting on lettering fixes.
Said, have you seen Roslyn's big news?
Oh, no, I have not. That is the wonderful artist for The Recluse. Let me look. I'll click on her banner there. Okay, no, that's for donations. That is announcing The Recluse. You may have to fill me in because it doesn't seem to be directly on my one connection to the wonderful individual. Top of her page, that is it?
Scott K. said, top of her page. Scott K. said, banner.
Oh, it's the banner. Got it. Not the, Oh! Well, good on her. All right. I see. Little one. We've got a little one. Good for her. That is massive news. Massive. I couldn't imagine. That's the other angle of, like, again, when I said anything peculiar, that's a certain angle that I doubt I will experience, but it is a wonderful, beautiful thing, and congrats on her, for her, on the baby.
Scott S. Mini Coyote on IronVerse Discord.
Sure, why not? Is Discord open? No. Let me open Discord. I do love the chibis. There were 3 chibis. I think they're in each of our little bits there, but let me go. Believe it or not, I still do AI art. I just don't share it as much because it's just kind of thought stuff and when I'm curious about things.
Said,
here.
We need a chibi Cody.
I don't know. I scare people enough. Shifty and shadiest. Whoa! 'Tis adorable. We have a Chibi Recluse and a Chibi Jack as well. There's Chibi Coyote. I think Chibi Coyote is the cutest, but that's because it's an animal, I think. Whoa! Chibi Jack. He's embarrassed but serious. And Chibi Recluse. The tiny little guns and the nubby hands. It's very cute. I appreciate our work. I guess I didn't share that either. The latest animation from Mrs. H. We did get one. We did start those again this month. I've just been all over the place. Let me see. I'm kind of curious if that gets hit too. So we'll check that out.
So kawaii.
Very kawaii. Oh god. There is a voice bot that can pronounce kawaii correctly. Because it's on that AI Infinite Anime on Twitch. They actually pronounce it correctly. But you have to... you might have to tell it how to pronounce it. Oh. I don't really need the sound for it, but sure. Share.
Dollar Coins. Said. COWAE. Scott K. Said.
Can I...
Definitely something for merch later.
Can I loop? Oh, yeah. They're very cool. Great for stickers, as you were doing patches, not as you were doing patches, but I was trying to stall. I was like, oh, that's another idea. Keychains was what I was trying to think of. There are many uses. Even shirts. Those could be fun little like centerpiece of the shirts with the logo or something. Is there no way to easily loop this shit
coins.
on? Oh, there it is, loop.
Said.
All right. Is that
I
loop?
want a Radcot loaf.
Let me see if this. Mrs. H would probably be very willing to do that for you. But this is the latest animation.
Scott K.
I need to do
Said.
revent pins.
Pins came out nice too.
Pins as well. Pins are smart. Pins are smart. This is the latest animation from Mrs. H. Just drunk Jack wandering in the desert.
The Raven's Loft.
Classic.
Said. What's up today, Cody?
We hit a lot of this. Not this. What am I thinking? This. No, not this. Close, though. This. We talked about this for like an hour. So if you're interested, like, I ran in circles a couple times. Sum it up, the only bar that matters is
the Raven's Loft.
The ones that you can hit yourself.
Said. Oh, that's MRSH. That looks amazing.
She does beautiful animations. In fact, you don't have to tell her, but she did at one point wish for me to kind of reach out to folks about doing more animations. I don't know if that's still something she wishes to do, because I know she does so much, but always feel free to contact. She's wonderful. I won't give you the rate she gives me, because she's not professional, but it is exceedingly reasonable, and I think for yourself and many
coins.
Others.
Said. I told MRSH.
And she likes Rat Cat, you know that, dollar coins. She's still the one with the 3D clay Rat Cat, and the ramen noodle accessory, which was very cute. Yeah, we talked about this. Raven's Loft, we talked about this at length and my thoughts on it. And basically the only bars that matters to me is being better than what you were before.
Said.
That's kind of what it sums
I
it up.
Had
Anything
one for
else
Wrath, need one for Recluse.
Anything else is kind of a it's an illusion, it's a mirage. If it helps inspire you, great, but if it does anything else, it's not healthy. The only bar that matters is the ones you set for yourself based upon yourself, because it's the only thing you have the best perspective on. Everything else is you'll never have the complete picture. It's a lie, it's an illusion, it's a mirage. Yeah, but we also talked about, the fact is basically any indie creator hits this question at some point, or a variant of this question, right? And so that's what we talked about for a good bit. So if you're interested, just reverse the stream. It starts about 3.5 minutes in, as most of our streams do. I let the original song play through, and then I get to chat. But yes, we do need... No, not there. I might have been muted there for a second. Sorry. I clicked on the ending screen. So it is, what it is. We're working hard, especially the two individuals here in chat, Scott K and Mr. Dollar Coins. They're working hard to get their expressions of IronVerse out there, and I can't wait. Issue number 4 of Jack will get, hopefully, both of them out. I don't know where Vince is on the letters on Cactus. I also don't know if we need to do a new logo layout for a cover for that, dollar coin, so let me know. I can't believe I just thought about this after how many times we've spoken about this. So let me know on that, because I can also get that to Nico when I do the pre-press work, or get the pre-press work going. So we should figure that out as well. Yeah. So, that's... I hit the points. It's an hour 20. How much time do I have? Yeah, I gotta leave in like 20 minutes. So I do need to call it. Yes, it is ready. I do know that. Let's let Robo Lady say it, though, anyway. Okay. Say it loud and proud, Robo Lady.
My preview is ready.
It is. It's set and ready to go, and it is awesome. And I cannot wait to share it with folks, and hopefully... people like it alongside what I've been working on for the last year and change, year and a half, probably, if you count the scripting. But yeah, folks, appreciate you joining me. We actually had quite a few consistent viewers today, which is kind of crazy. Had at least 1 or 2 relatively new folks checking it out. I appreciate you folks for hanging in there with my rambling. especially since most of the meandering happens, and then I go back to the same point, and it's just like, well, you already said that. But again, there's usually a point within the, the topic where I come to a conclusion on it, and then I test it again and again. And if it survives that test, we keep coming back to it. It's just how my thought process works. But yeah, I would love to see you guys again later today, but I don't know if I'll have the energy. I kind of wanted to finish my coffee, but oh, there we go. That's a good answer. Best way to know. Let me see if you made that easily accessible, Senor Scott.
Said. When does the Recluse launch? Johnny Torch said. I guess I just lurk most of the time, but just want to say keep up the good work.
Thank you, good sir. I'll personally be taking a slight break, perspective, breather, whatever you want to call it. But I will still be there quite a bit. Let me see if I can find that Senor Scott. Okay, that's just more issue 4 stuff. Aha! I found the link. The best way to know is to sign up on this link right here. Boom. That is through. Oh well, will it take you through? I don't know. It might take you through Twitter, which some people don't need that extra. So let me go ahead and just link it directly. In fact, I should actually place that at the top of IronVerseComics.com, Scott. Try and remind me if I forget.
Said.
I should change the
official launch date is tied into Jack Iron's physical fulfillment.
Exactly. So the best way to know is to sign on up. And then you'll know. But of course, we'll be boosting the hell out of it once we actually have the knowledge of it. So I'm likely going to go through Comics Wellspring. It just seems to be the simple, and I might be able to actually talk to somebody there. They claim a 2-week turnaround. That would be incredible. I need to order about $300.
Said. Appreciated, Cody.
Yeah, just remind me if I don't remember, because that's totally right now we have it. Oh yeah, we're publishing there. Right now I have it like in production, and it's true, but it's not as important. I can actually set this as a link, right? So you just boom, sign up for the Recluse or something, right? Where did I put that though? But did I put that into... Yes, and so if you don't want to go through Twitter's link, it's right above the official launch date. Scott comment there. That'll link you right here. Watch the kind of preview trailer.
Johnny Torch said.
All of that.
Been looking into Wellspring, let us know how it goes.
So I definitely have gotten... So our wonderful Mrs. H has gone through them for her last 2 campaigns. Their Gemini mailers come branded, so I know specifically that they're also doing a bit of, if not the fulfillment, they are providing her the mailers as well. They're trying to be an all-in-one solution, which is kind of nice. I know some other folks are doing it as well, like Critical Blast is trying to be a fulfillment entity, I guess is the best way to put it. But they don't print, right? Comics Wellspring will also print, so I want to talk to them about there. I've got to order about 300 issues. In fact, I have... boom. I have it open. Just to get the idea of pricing and all that. Now, they say 2-week turnaround. Again, I don't trust that with any printers.
Scott K. said.
And that's 2 weeks after
Used
getting the stuff.
them twice, I keep going back. The Ravens
Okay,
lost. Said. I like Wellspring, and 2 weeks is the usual time frame unless you're doing graphic novels. They also hired more people to help keep the pace. I know they have been swamped.
See, that's the thing. So I don't know. My experience with printers has always been weird. Nothing has ever gone super smooth. Oh, welcome, Draw and Talk.
Draw and Talk.
Cool.
Said. I've actually used Comics Wellspring a bunch, and honestly it's always been 2-3 weeks for me. They
Okay.
Draw and Talk
have never failed me. Got it.
Said. Have never failed me.
Well, that's great to hear. So that's why I'm going to go through them, is partially because I've heard great things and I have gotten product from them before and it seemed great. So that's likely who I'm going through. If it is actually 2 or 3 weeks, I had planned for most of the other printers I've dealt with have been with my previous campaigns, and these are years apart, had been about 2 months before they were in the hands of Wicked Publishing. So my hope is that if it is only 2 or 3 weeks, then we can maybe get this fulfilled much sooner than I had planned. It also depends on, I am a stickler for the physical proof. In fact, one of the big
Scott
problems
K.
I had with my last printer
said,
was dealing with that.
I can say if they mess up, they make it right.
That's also important, and that's what happened with the folks over at API Printing, who I still believe do Iconic Comics prints. But I had lost a wonderful connection there to COVID. Wonderful guy. I really like, very cool. Like, that's my thing is I need. I've been thinking this a lot because it has to do with my work as well. But I cannot respect authority, but I always can respect character. And so that's always been how I approach any sort of business deal as well. And by authority, that could mean experience as well.
Dollar Coins said,
but yeah.
Put mini Coyote Comics big dumb angry face.
Put mini
Dollar Coins
print
said,
got it.
Print.
Can't do that. I'm trying to fill out, so that's the other thing that I need to do. And I have no problem talking to you guys about that. So I need to fill out the extra pages in the back there a little bit more. So we have some of the concept stuff from Maxie where this is like one of his layouts, right? And then we have some of his inking work, right, when he's going through it. One of the fun bits is, again, this was his page 1 layout, right? He's like, I like it. And so he kept these 3 panels, and this one he's like, wait, I can maybe do something better. And he did this, and you can tell where his traditional stops and his digital comes in, where he copy and pastes the horses. Which is really neat, because he figured out how to do, he knows how to do it. I love it. I love that you can see that thought process, right? And then this map too was digital, so he did that, but most all of it is traditional. So I'm still trying to fill out space in the back here, and I have this also, which is completely blank because there is a lot to express in this one. I try and keep the thank you letters, the summation of the work or the journey of that thing that's been in each issue, I think, except for maybe issue 1. And there's a lot to hit on this one. That'll go out directly to backer because, again, it is the start of a new journey with Jack in a lot of ways. So there's a lot to talk about. And I just need to sit down and throw those emotions down on a page. I'll get it done within a day, edit it within a day, and it'll be as heartfelt as always.
Dollar Coins.
Well, that's where I'm at there.
Said, don't forget to thank the players who beat the game.
Exactly. I have a million creators to thank as well, which maybe I'll get permission to use either their tags or direct names or what have you as well. I'd love to include that in the thank you. So there's a lot of angles too. But that's where I'm at, is getting this ready, which I'm in no major rush because I'm still waiting on the lettering edits to come in to see if it flows right. This was, what's it here? The summation of my and Dollar Coins editing notes. I didn't include one of the panels that you put there, but it is in the notes there, Dollar Coins. So all of your notes were integrated in one form or another because they were damn good notes. So we're just waiting on that. And this is the lettering script, what it came out to be. The edited lettering script, or the letter editing script. I don't know. It's after letters have already hit the page and we can read it. But yeah, geez, hour and a half. I do have to get ready now to go. I gotta get the dogs in and all that. So appreciate you folks. Check out The Recluse. Link is still in chat. Thank you folks for stopping by. I know it's the weird PNG me with the weird cowboy hat, but this is what I got. I'm a mess today in a lot of ways, but I wanted to hit the notes on that topic for a lot of reasons, and I hope some of the discussion is helpful. Again, the only bar that should matter to you is being better than you were before in your own eyes and your own heart. Um, Anything above that, if it doesn't inspire you, if it only drags you down, is a waste of your time. It is not. It makes this work. It makes art as a whole an unhealthy outlet, um, and it makes the journey that much harder on you if you're consistently chasing a version of success tied to outside mirages, illusions, incomplete perspectives. It's not going to be healthy. But if those things can help inspire you, and you're only looking at them from that angle, then yeah, it can be very healthy.
Dollar coins. Said. And special thanks to the number one person.
Oh, this is going to lead up to somebody. Here it comes.
Said. Well, shy.
Well, she. God, the accent they use for Welshie too in Futurama, hilarious. That is a great episode where no fan has gone before. I am a massive fan of Futurama. There's a lot of influences in the work that I don't talk about, and I'm hoping some people catch a few of them within issue 4. I try and do. I'd like to say tasteful, but maybe they're a little blunt. I don't know. Tasteful references in each of the issues, and there's some good ones in 4. There are some fun ones in 4 that I didn't know if I'd get to or not. Oh! Yo, I was just about to sign off, sadly, because I gotta go to town. Do things. Ugh, people. But, thank you for stopping by, brother. Hope you're doing well. I should catch you at your show on what oh god, it's the weekend after this one, I think, right? I believe so. Let me see. I should be there this one because I missed the last 2 and it kind of bothered me.
Said, such is life.
Such is life indeed. I hope you're doing well, brother. We should hang again here soon. I've been meaning to message you and the boys.
25th, yes.
Yes, week after this one. Indeed. If you folks happen to be in the Taos, New Mexico area.
How do you do a spoken word version of a rap song?
He found a way. Man, I love me some Futurama. But yeah, love you folks. Particularly again, Laguna, we need to hang again. I may have been exceedingly blunt in that text message thing, but I actually had felt something very similar for a long time. And so it there is some good there.
I hope you are also.
Oh, doing better. There's a rough couple weeks over at the gig, but they've also led to a transition that is far less weight bearing. Like I don't have to carry as much, and I needed a perspective change, and hopefully that has worked. And I'm still working and still able to take care of myself while doing that work, which I think I was just emotionally too invested in. Which is hard not to be. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing okay. That's the main bit that's been like I've been struggling with for months. And then we talked about it last time I saw you, so it's how it is. But yeah, I'm doing okay. Almost done with Jack 4, and that's a big one. So once that is off my shoulders as well, it's gonna be a good thing. But anywho, appreciate you folks. I would stay another half hour if I could, but I can't. I gotta leave in about 10. So. And I gotta say hi to the dogs and all that for a little bit this morning. So, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you next time. I would love to stream more. I've been streaming less and less because it takes a lot. And like today, I kind of had a key.
Time with the fellas may be healing. We will get together soon.
Yes, please. Yes, please. If I don't get a hold of me. I'm around. I can usually find some space. The last time was just a little bad timing.
Johnny Torch.
Yeah.
Said, have a good one, guys.
Yes, you as well, folks.
Said, get stream N00B.
It doesn't know Leet. The robot doesn't know Leet. That is crazy to me. I would think it would speak Leet better than English. Doesn't make any sense to me. But I do need to. I would like to stream more. But it takes a lot. Like this one, I had a topic I wish to discuss, and it emotionally needed to fulfill an angle of it, and so I ended up here.
Said, have a good rest of the day, Cody.
Even in PNG form. So, I ended up here because I'm a mess. I still need to clean up too before I go a little bit.
Said, Laguna Disco Coyote tracks let S boogie.
Yeah, just commission him. He's working on a new album. I'm sure that could happen.
Said, don't make me get back on the conspiracy stream idea because we can talk about Great Tartaria sometime.
Tartaria.
$.
Was that?
Said,
that was.
We'll call it Return to Coyote Pass.
So I was unaware. Okay, I'll stay another minute or two because this is crazy. Great Tartaria was a conspiracy that I had not heard of before. And I think that's the one where there was a civilization in the United States before the colonials came here that was wiped out in something called the Great Mud Flood or whatever. Like it was a whole. I'm used to flat Earth. I'm used to inner Earth. I'm used to a lot of different conspiracies about other civilizations, particularly the Atlantis theories, but I had not heard of that one. If I'm remembering that correctly, nuts. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm just not. I have not had the energy to be here. Yeah. Said,
yeah, that's it entirely. Anyway, glad to see you're alive.
Well, I mean, it's just a PNG. This could be a AI recreation of my voice, just talking. Again, the last time I showed that, it's insane. It was The Lord of the Cock Rings, narrated by Dave Chappelle, starring Alex Jones and a few other streamers I wasn't aware of, and it was. The way AI can now recreate speech patterns alongside deep fakes, doing it on the fly, is incredibly terrifying. So, I could be one of those. Even if I was on camera, I could be one of those, which is even spookier. Is that guy live? If he's live, we will end on that. He is live. Oh, what's today's? Let's see. Yeah, Rose. Oh, that's that's Intel. It's an ad for Intel. Oh, it's Gordon Ramsay. Okay, it's one of them. Okay.
Said, Atlantis is easy to explain. Plato told a story that he misheard and retold in grand dual narrative, but historically he was talking about Santorini Island in the Aegean Sea.
Yep, you are in the right place to talk about Tartaria. Elizabar.
An island chain empire that was destroyed by a volcano eruption.
I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, here's deep fake Gordon Ramsay. What is he doing? What's today's?
McDonald's roast me like one of your Sierra Leones.
Oh my God, you're 23 and you can only cook a frozen.
Oh, they're talking.
The instructions are right there on the box. It's not exactly rocket science, sweetheart. And McDonald's? Are you kidding me? You might as well just chew on a tire for all the flavor you're getting there. I'm sorry, have you ever heard of vegetables, fresh ingredients?
Oh, it's AI Gordon Ramsay roasting people who say things. This one's the spookiest one. Like, there's some dumb ones. There's the Steamed Hands Forever. Watch Me Forever's back up, which is the first one I heard of, which is Infinite AI Seinfeld. I could go on and on about this shit. I shouldn't. But, like, this shit is terrifying. Especially if it actually gets any kind of quality to it. But anyway, folks, like, if you want to dive down a weird rabbit hole that's moving a lot faster than I think people realize, like, AI art was spooky, that this is a whole nother level of, like, crazy. You'll notice there's 666 people watching forever when we went there, so that's neat. Anyway, love you, folks. I will catch you folks later down the line. Adios. Maybe I'll be back later tonight if I feel like it, but work tomorrow and work now, so we'll see. Appreciate you. Adios. Vaya con Dios. And catch you another time.